I'm Mike.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Stuff and Waffle. Two friends talking about stuff, and often as not, waffling with frequent reference to Bond cars.
Now it's back to the two of us this week. Normal service has been resumed, if you will.
Oh,
no. No friends for us.
No. You can understand why, though.
Oh, yeah. They're not coming thick and fast. No.
No.
So, now I have mentioned this to you. So, what's interesting is obviously last week's episode was with Rob to celebrate the beginning of our 5th year.
We're now into our 5th year, however the hell that's happened. Yes.
Yeah, so that doesn't seem entirely correct, does it? But we're here nonetheless.
Yes.
But the episode prior to that was the long-awaited and much maligned by us the Die Another Day episode.
It's done. We did it.
All done.
Yes.
However, it's caused debate.
Well, yeah, it caused a lot of procrastination from us.
It did. So we've had a lot of feedback from. Let's say, let's go another way. It divides the listeners. It doesn't, let's be clear, it doesn't divide them into ones who like the film and ones just dislike the film. It divides them into people who agree wholeheartedly, and then the other selection of people, other people that go, I don't care about Bond. We go, oh, that's unfortunate because we do.
Yes, we do, and it's our podcast.
Quite.
Go get your own podcast.
Yes. And a certain someone said that I won't use the exact phrase, but they weren't utterly enamoured with it being a Bond episode. But what they were bitterly disappointed about was they didn't get their car facts for the week.
And the people are growing to depend on us for that now.
So I thought, with the help of Chris and a fine suggestion on his part, was to try a little segment, have a little trial, see how we get on.
It's a segment.
No, not like that. Oh dear. We still need to do our review of Coupling. We really do.
Yes, we do, because I suspect half the audience won't know what the hell we're talking about.
No, that is severely off-piste. If you think Bond reviews are weird, wait until you get into that one.
That's gone proper obscure these days.
Yes.
Okay.
So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 3 car facts.
Ooh.
And you're going to tell me which one's wrong.
Okay, so one of these 3 is a lie. Okay.
It's either a flat-out lie or an augmentation of the truth. Let's go with that.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
So, in no particular order, I would like to bombard you with 3 facts, and you tell me which one you think is erroneous.
Okay, I'll do my best.
Yeah, okay. So, fact number 1. The much-loved Subaru Brat was actually never officially sold in Japan.
Okay.
Fact 1.
Yeah. Okay.
Fact 2. The much revered Flex 7 folding seats in the Vauxhall Zafira never made it to the Mark II Vauxhall Zafira because they actually caused too many injuries during operation.
Well, it's a Vauxhall, I can believe that.
Okay.
Okay.
And the Ford Mondeo was almost called the Ford Lyris.
Ooh.
What do we think? Do you want to dissect any of that?
So we've got you're saying the Brat was never actually available in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
You're a bit confused about the second one. Some clever seats in the Zafira.
Yes, if you remember, the Mark I Zafira had 5 seats all the time. The rear row, the middle row of 3 could be slid forwards and backwards, but there was a flush boot floor from which you could pull 2 additional seats up, and they were really quite cleverly designed, so you could do it one-handed really quickly if you're carrying shopping or the kids or whatever. But that never made it into the Mark II because actually people injured themselves while maneuvering the simple Flex 7 seats into position.
Okay, that is quite believable.
Mm-hmm.
And the third one is that the Mondeo was going to be called the Lyra at some point.
Lyris,
sorry, at some point in its history. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, if that is true, I've never heard it. Which one of those is false? I do not believe the first one. I think the Brat was available in Japan.
Interesting.
The Zafira's seats, I really don't. I have no idea. That's going to be a guess. I can't believe anybody actually cares. And the Mondeo being going to be called the Lyris, I've never heard that. But I mean, all kinds of names get used during development.
Quite.
So it's possible, but I've never heard it. What am I going to say? Which of those 3 is false? I'm going to say I'm going to go with the first one of those is false, that the Brat was never available in Japan.
Oh, that's very interesting. Unfortunately, you are incorrect. I'm afraid that is true. The Subaru Brat was never officially sold in Japan.
How is that possible?
I know. No. It's a little bit of research there, but it's a bit odd, but okay.
Wow. Okay, so the funny seats in the Zafira is true.
It's not.
Okay.
That was pure fabrication on my part. They were okay. They were much.
That's very, very specific. How do you even know that much about the seats in a Zafira?
The reason I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the fact that was a complete lie and give you a genuine fact based on the Zafira seats. The Flex 7 seats in the Mark I Zafira were engineered by Porsche.
Oh my word! Okay.
And were actually quite good, apparently.
Wow, who'd have thought? Just a pity so many of them caught fire.
Yeah, that can happen.
They did. I know someone it happened to.
That's fine. And yes, the Ford Mondeo was almost called the Ford Lyris.
Wow. I've never heard that, and I sort of pride myself on being fairly familiar with Ford's toings and froings up to a point. Obviously, nobody knows what the hell they're doing anymore. But
yes, it feels like they're throwing an awful lot of the time.
They've gone a bit rogue now. But oh well, okay. So the first round of that game I lost. So do I need to now prepare 3 facts? One of them not a fact for you.
Yes, I think okay. let's try it the other way around next week and see how we get on.
I'm gonna quite enjoy that, I
think. I thought that would float your boat, and yes, thank you for Chris for that one. And I hope it was as successful as you dreamed it would be.
That's really good. I like that. A recurring segment, if you will.
Yeah.
Well, we've never had one of those before.
No. Well, we could only dream of such things.
Only as a result of a bad curry.
Yeah, not naming any curry restaurants at all.
No, best not.
No. Right.
Oh, very good.
Let's let's get back into the thick of it.
Guys, come on. Yes.
Right. We've had confirmation this week, haven't we? Like proper official announcements. The termination, the official termination of the Honda and Nissan.
Yes, we have
merger. Just 51 days after what they described as a memorandum of understanding being signed.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah.
That they've torn that up. That's
they said they want no part of that, which is a bold move.
Yeah, well, let's face it. I think the proposal that they signed was like, oh yeah, this is all great. We're all going to be very, very good mates. But what that actually meant was Nissan was going to come in below Honda rather than alongside.
Well, to be fair, I suspect that was always going to be the case. I'm surprised they thought any different, really. The way I've read it is that Honda very much made it clear that Nissan would be the junior in the relationship, and that Nissan would end up just be a division of Honda. Which, I mean, if they're in that bad a state, you might have to put up with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, in terms of other offers on the table, you just go, actually, that might have been your best bet. Safe.
Because we've heard from Japan, haven't we, that things are much worse than are being reported over here.
Yeah, it's not rosy for Nissan.
So if that's your only deal on the table, and it's that or you're gone, you might have to compromise a little bit there. Just, work with it. Just.
Because let's face it, in terms of lifelines from this point on, it's going to be a really difficult thing to avoid a potential, dare I say it, Chinese buyout.
Yeah.
For possibly a lot less than what this deal was worth.
Yeah, and at least with this deal, it would have kept it all in Japan. Yeah, I mean, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but I would suggest that's a bit of a short-sighted decision to have made.
Yes.
Because it sounds like we're in grave danger of losing Nissan altogether at the moment.
We could be without relatively swiftly here, couldn't we?
I think so.
Because
and of course, they are quite a substantial employer in the UK.
I think I've also been reading other articles, and the Sunderland plant is in grave danger at this point.
Well, of course. Yeah, of course. Bound to be,
yeah. What I didn't understand was, because I mean, you know how well prepared we are on this podcast.
It can happen.
And it didn't. So what I did was I did some emergency research.
Research.
Emergency. Just to go. What cars did Nissan sell again? So, in terms of cars, so that is that they sell. I mean, an array of sedatives.
Yes.
So this is the UK range. Let's face it. I've not delved into other markets because it's not entirely relevant for what we see day to day. So they now sell the Duke, the Qashqai, the Ayara, that's some stupid electric crossover.
I know the one you mean. The
Aria.
What that? Lots of
A's and Y's. You get some cream for that. The X Trail and the Leaf.
Okay. Yes. Okay. there's only 2 of those I find even remotely interesting.
As many as 2.
As many as 2. All right, 1 really, and even that's
again
tenuous.
as many as 1.
I think the X-Trail's all right.
No. I'm not. I won't have that. I won't have that.
Okay. So I don't care that much to argue with you about it.
And from what I can tell in the van sector, you can have a small van, a medium van, a large van, or a slightly extra large van.
Slightly extra large.
Okay. Honestly, I can't. I think it's a typo on their website because I can't tell the difference. I'm assuming it's slightly larger, but I just.
Yeah.
The trouble is, the names are the same, the taglines are the same, but one of them has the electric symbol next to it and one doesn't, and yet the caption under both of them say that they're either diesel or electric vans. You're like, right, okay, so you sell 3 vans, but whoever's doing your website doesn't know what they're doing.
Doesn't know what they're doing. They've just copy and pasted one of them twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they both link through to the same page. So what they're trying to do is go, look, we've got these 2 vans. No, one's a diesel, one's an electric. That's all days. That's all that's happened there.
That's all that's happened there.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew they did electric vans. I think some of them have been quite popular, but yeah. Okay, so that's
the ones that you
vans.
think are popular. I don't think they sell anymore. They sell newer variants of them, and they don't appear to be anywhere near as good.
They don't appear to be very good. Right. Okay. So that's right. That's cars and vans.
Yeah. I'm sorry. That made it sound like there's more to come, but no, that's your lot.
Oh, no pickup trucks or anything anymore.
I've gone to new cars, view all vehicles, and that's it.
Okay. Right. So the Warrior and all that stuff is gone now.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah.
Oh no, not Warrior. Not Warrior. Navara.
Navara. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I've tried to delve further into the commercial bit, but it's just the same vans that keep popping up.
Right. It's not an expansive range, is it?
No, and it's not in the slightest bit interesting either, is it?
No, it's not. You can see why people aren't bothered.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, it is. Nothing very inspiring there.
No, dreadful. Utterly dreadful.
So what we're saying, I think, is that whilst it would be a terrible shame to lose the name, they're not actually making anything we're too bothered about. No,
the one thing that Nissan produced that I am bothered about, we're not allowed to have. We've been through this. We're not.
Yes,
we want the new Z, and we're not allowed.
Yeah, we don't get that. So
and it's like you look at it and go, "That's fantastic. Sell it to us."
Yes.
Please.
No.
Absolutely
not for you. No. Not for you. Okay.
No, I've got nothing. So that's that.
And they've turned down probably their best chance of a deal that would allow them to continue in some form. Yeah. Yeah,
not good. Not good.
Very disappointing. I mean, there must have been something really bad about what was on offer from Honda for them to walk away.
Yeah, I don't know.
No. Okay. Well, that's a shame.
It is, but yeah, I don't. What can you do?
Yeah. Well, not buy a Nissan for much longer.
No,
I suspect.
I mean, even though we can still buy them at present, I don't want anything they're offering.
No. No. Yeah, the Leaf is not really competitive anymore.
No, that's gone.
Yeah. It's a bit like Well, it's a bit like Toyota with the Prius. They were leading the way for a bit, but they didn't build on it, and now it's just kind of not very interesting anymore.
No. It's like, well, no one wants that. But at least, I mean, Toyota are in a vaguely good place. They've got quite the range. They've embraced electric now. They're charging ahead with other
technologies.
Yeah,
yes, they are.
I think they're very much getting their heads into the solid state batteries, aren't they?
They are. Well, and they build things properly as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't. I think this could be the beginning of the end for them being car manufacturers in their own right, because I think Nissan, if it lingers on, I think it's going to be in name only, and it's going to be on someone else's cars. Dare I say, possibly some Chinese ones.
Yeah, I would think.
Which, I mean, is what it is. There's a lot of good stuff coming from China in the electric car world, but
yeah, there is. Is there going to be BYD particularly? I think are going to be, and MG are going to be a significant place in the market. Already are really.
God, I saw an old interview with Elon the other day where he was laughing about BYD.
So there's plenty of new ones, but
yeah, I thought we'll go with a slightly safer old one. I didn't skip past the clip, and I'm like, okay, this is before he went full mental. But yeah, he's laughing at BYD's offering from 2012-ish, I think it was. And you're like, oh dear. This is one of those ones that isn't going to age at all well, is it?
Well, not now, but I mean, if you look at how things were in 2012, things have moved incredibly quickly, haven't they? I mean, he'd just come out with the Model S, which was absolutely groundbreaking, and no one else at that point was anywhere near him. No,
but I think the really worrying thing for Tesla is in that sort of 12 to 13 year period, their progression hasn't matched the level of progression of the other manufacturers.
No, it hasn't. No, they were ignored and laughed at for a long time. And then everybody suddenly saw what they'd been up to and thought, oh, God.
Yeah.
We've got some serious catching up to do here.
That's it. And don't get me wrong, I don't necessarily think it's going to cause much of a headache for Tesla in the short term anyway. It's going to cause more of a headache for some of the more mainstream manufacturers.
I think Tesla have got other things to worry about at the moment, and it's not the development of the vehicles.
No, it's something very different, something that you would hope you never have to worry about, and yet there he is. Spouting off at every opportunity.
There he is, but let's not get into that.
No.
Not a political podcast. But I have to say, since you brought Tesla up, I wasn't going to, but since you've brought Tesla up, I will just like to mention one little thing I saw this week. Franz von Holzhausen, who, as you may recall, is their chief designer.
That was it. I was like, I recognise the name. What does he do again? I'm like, that was it.
He's the head of design for Tesla. Has been from the very beginning. And he did a demo of the new Model Y on Jay Leno's Garage this week. And he talked about lots of things, but he talked about one feature which they're adding via a software update to the new version of the Model Y in a couple of months' time. And it's, I think he called it an adaptive main beam. So what it does is it's got as you probably noticed if you've looked at pictures of the front of it, it's got a light bar that runs the full width of the car.
Yeah.
Now the LEDs that are in this are being controlled by some special software, which means when they're on full beam, the driver still has the effect of full beam, but for cars coming the other way, they appear to be dipped still.
Yes, it's very clever. I like that.
It doesn't
it's not
dazzle oncoming drivers.
No, it's not dissimilar to the system that BMW use, which can basically split a beam, which is really clever. I assume it's the same principle.
Probably very similar principle. He said you can set it in the software so that it still shows. You can have it so it's either looks like it's dipped beam, or you can have it look like it's just side lights, so you can still see the car, but you don't get any glare. But to the driver, it's like you've got full beams on all the time. You don't have to dip basically when there's cars coming the other way. That is using clever technology to solve a real world problem.
Yeah, that's better than taking away indicator stalks, which actually, from what I've read, are back.
They are back in the new version, yes, yeah. Which kind of admits it's wrong.
Yes, something that's awfully useful. Don't take those away.
Away. You're fixing a problem that didn't exist there.
And I tell you what, I really must commend you there for that, for taking us through that. Actually, we'll praise them for the good for the good use of technology. You covered the facts really well, and at no point did you feel the need to go full partridge when saying the word full beam.
I did leave that out on this occasion. Yes.
Well done, you.
No, credit where credit's due. I looked at that and thought, do you know what? That's really clever, and that solves a real world problem, because LED headlights are a serious problem. I hate driving at night now because of getting dazzled on getting old eyesight as it used to be, and
they are proper bright, and
they really are. I thought, that's using technology to solve a real world problem. I give them credit for that. That's really clever. Of course, you need everybody driving Model Ys for that to be of major use, but or Model Ys or some BMWs, and you'd probably be all right. But yes, it is a genuine issue. One thing that annoys the piss out of me, but like driving a lowered car, your eye level is just getting the beam directly into your retina most of the time when you drive it. Yeah, Dawn complains about that driving the MX-5. I don't get it so much in the Jag, but yes, and of course, everything being an SUV now. Even when they are driving behind you, it's right in your rearview mirror. So it's a genuine problem. But no, I looked at that and thought, that credit where it's due. That's really good.
Yeah. I'll let you have that.
Nice feature. Yeah.
The fact they've done that and they put stalks back in, they're like, you're all right. That is all permissible praise.
Yeah, we'll give them a bit for that. That's fine. Yes, you can have a bit back.
Yeah, no bother at all. Very good, very good. Bit of backpedaling in recent weeks as well. Has moved on to another brand that we talk about quite a lot, or certainly I do. Porsche.
Yes, they have been much in the news this week. Yes.
May we please backpedal on our full EV claims?
Electric has not worked. We're going to reinvest in internal combustion, they say.
But it's simple, isn't it? It's like they're going to have to split their range, and the trouble is people. I mean, I don't know. I don't specifically think it's just them. The backpedaling is market wide. It's just they were very adamant they were going to be electric, and now they've gone, well, actually, if we do that, we won't exist.
Yes, I think a lot of companies have noticed that. I mean, VW are in even worse shape.
Which is
electrification.
Yeah, not only are they in worse shape because of electrification, they're in worse shape because their electrified offerings were a bit shit.
You can't really argue that, can you? They didn't put up much of a fight when it came to electric. No. No,
Not so good.
They lost a lot of ground to others who were producing far better products. Let's put it like that. Yes.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I'm still genuinely interested to see the electric Cayman and Boxster. I think that'll be fascinating, and I think if we're going to have an electric sports car, if it's from Porsche, I think we're fairly safe.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and people will buy it.
It's just in what quantities will they buy it? That's going to be the fascinating bit.
Well, of course, it's going to be at a lower price point than Taycan.
I mean, at this point, I would say that might be a wild assumption.
Yeah, it might be a wild assumption. I mean, you can get quite cheap Taycans now because they're not selling, so they're discounting them like crazy.
It's a buyer's market.
Yes, it very much is. Yes, I mean, if you're looking for a cheap Taycan, there's loads of them around.
Yeah, absolutely. But the only thing that, I think we spoke about, the only thing that's genuinely bothering me about the electric Cayman and Boxster is, like, you look at the proportions of it and you go, proportionally it's really well packaged, but when you sort of see it relative to objects, you go, that's quite big. Like the speculation being that it's sort of 997 sized car. I mean, that was the 911, and that's quite.
People said that was too big.
Well, I mean, I'll defend that. I would say the 997 is the last sensibly sized 911. The 991 and 992 possibly a bit too big.
Yeah.
Where there was still a sort of, I don't know, the 997 was more nimble looking, I would say.
Yeah, that's probably fair to say. Yeah,
it was a bit more slender. Still to this day, still my favourite of the water-cooled 911s in terms of visuals.
Yes, you have mentioned that before. Yes, that you think that would be the one to have. Yes. But yes, I did see that from Porsche this week, that they cannot go on. So
no, and you know what? You might as well, if you're worried about it, get it out there now, because actually, if people were being put off by the fact that you were going to go full electric, just get it out there now, and people go, well, actually, all right, you know what? I'm just going to go buy some 911s. That'd be lovely.
Yeah, I think they're right to just put it out there if that's where they are. And we'll see what happens. But for the moment, if we were a better prepared podcast, it would be really interesting to go, right, Taycan sales are dropping like a stone. I don't think we need to do much research to know that.
No, the research bit that I would like to do, and maybe we should next time, is to see where the sales of Panamera are.
Yes, that would be
a direct competitor, really, isn't it?
Yes, well, it's certainly a direct comparison. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, very much the same sort of thing.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I mean, certainly, the Taycan saloons have plummeted in price. I mean, you just need to look on Auto Trader. There's loads of them.
Which is easier said than done these days.
Yes, it's true. It takes a bit longer now. Yes, can't do an emergency auto trade anymore. But
not.
Whilst we're on the subject of big electric saloon cars, some more Jaguar news this week.
Oh, what a smooth segue. Well done.
Did you like that? That was really professional, wasn't it?
Yeah, nice.
I thought so. We have some spy shots this week.
Yeah,
of
up somewhere chilly.
See, they are winter testing the Type 00, as we so far is the only name we have for it.
Which is interesting because that's been bothering me. A lot of people have been calling it Type 00 and go, well, actually, no, that was the concept.
I know, I've thought that, but the press who've reported on these pictures this week are calling this the Type 00. But I think that's in the absence of anything else to call it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I'd like to call out the fact that I think that's factually inaccurate, but there we go.
It probably is, but we don't know what else it is. So anyway, whatever it is, the 4-door what's coming next has been out winter testing this week, and we have an array of photographs of it.
We do. Before we delve too far into it, what you mentioned there was the 4-door element of it,
Yes.
which we knew.
We knew the production car was 4-door. Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't news. However, one thing that has been noted in the photographs and in the various articles that people have written about said photographs is the oddity that is the rear door. That there's the shot of it with one of its rear doors open.
Yes.
And this could be on purpose from Jag, but also if it's the real thing, it's a really weird shaped door with an oddly shaped and oddly placed rear window.
Yeah, I mean, it is still a prototype. You don't know what panels they've sort of clothed it in.
Quite. That's my thing. I'm not reading too much into it, but it is very odd.
It is very odd. I'm just looking at the photograph you're referring to. It is very strange. Some of it could be like an artificial bit of paneling that's been stuck on it to disguise the real door underneath. This is still very much prototype in camo. So, yeah, I don't think we can read too much into that. But you're right. The rear door, as photographed, is very odd.
Now, this I've not researched, but I have made an assumption. The badge on the front of it.
Yes. And there is one.
There is one, and it doesn't say Jaguar. Does
it not?
No, absolutely not. No, it says Lorips.
Oh, it does. You're right. I've just zoomed in. Yes, you're right. It does.
Which people have gone, well, is this code? What does this mean? Well, I don't know. What's this? And but other people have gone, isn't it just a play on the typesetter stuff of Lorem Ipsum?
It's just Lorem Ipsum, isn't it? Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
Again, maybe I don't think this is to be read into. I think this is probably just to wind people up.
I think it is. I think that's just to get people going, and it's completely meaningless. Absolutely
nonsense. There was that theory, wasn't it, of a bit like some of the Beatles stuff, wasn't it? I still don't know if there's any validity to this story, but John Lennon was fed up with people trying to analyze their songs, so that's why he wrote "I Am the Walrus." He's like, go on then, try that.
Yes, total nonsense.
Yeah.
I am the walrus, I am the Eggman, or whatever it was.
Yes, quite.
I'm not a Beatles expert. In fact, I'm not much of a Beatles fan, if I'm honest. But yes, I have heard that too, that he just got so fed up with people over-analysing every word. He just, here's some total nonsense.
Yes. And it was.
See how you get on with that. Yes.
Oh dear, we're all over the shop.
Or he's just taken a few too many of those little pills that day.
Well, yes. I mean, there was a bit of a song about that, wasn't there? A bit of Lucy in the Sky. Yeah.
Exactly. But you really need to check out the William Shatner rendition of that to get the true.
That is awful. Awful. Whoever told that man that he should produce music albums? Because he's done multiple.
I know. It wasn't an isolated incident.
No. It wasn't a one-off. He's got form for it, and not just one or two songs, albums worth.
Albums of the things. Yes.
Genuinely awful.
Anyway, we have strayed somewhat from the Jaguar prototype, but yes,
we've ended up at the Shat.
Many pictures of the new Jag. Yes, but I don't think you can read too much into it because I don't think all those panels are real.
No. I think that's absolutely fair. It's just it set the tongues wagging, which is probably for the best because they ain't getting any other press at the moment. Which
No, they're not.
They've forgotten to do marketing after doing all of it in a very short period of time. They went, have they blown their marketing budget in one
I
go?
was going to say, I think what's happened there is they've spent all the money.
Yeah, and that's it. That's all she had to write. That's
nothing else to say.
All done.
But if they are cold weather testing, that's fairly far in the process. So it means they're probably not too far off having something fairly finished.
No, I suppose if we were to speculate, we would probably say of unveiling visually of the real thing end of this year, production into next year.
Yes, well, they said it would arrive in 26, didn't they? So
I think
about right.
I think we'll get the unveil this year. I think they've got to build up a bit of demand, get some orders in the books. Well, hopefully anyway, but hopefully for
them. We'll see. But a little bit of interim marketing along the way wouldn't go amiss.
No, they've forgotten that bit, which is very silly.
Very silly, yes.
But yes, I'm glad you brought that up because if you didn't, I was going to.
I'd have been disappointed if you hadn't. Yes.
Yeah, well, it has been doing the rounds. It's been in articles here, there, and everywhere. But yes. Here's a little fact before we wrap it up. Now, I heard something that bothered me a little bit.
Tell me of your troubles.
That we know a little while back that BMW acquired Alpina.
Yes.
And they brought it in-house. God, blimey. Not that long ago.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly when, but in the grand scheme of things, not that long ago. However, BMW are planning to exit at the end of this year.
Oh no! Really?
Yeah.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. I didn't. It came up in conversation. I'm like, what? Because hang on, I'm doing a bit. Yeah, it was 2022 that it was officially acquired by the look of it, and yeah, they intend to wrap it up by the end of this year, which is which is utterly devastating because they are producing some wonderful vehicles.
Yeah, that's really disappointing. Why would they knock that on the head then? That's very strange.
Yeah, I'm genuinely bothered by it, more than I thought I would be. I mean, I'm not a devout BMW fan, or I'm not a devout Alpina fan, but the fact that I just go, you know what? Alpina has made some really, really wonderful cars over the years, building on some excellence from BMW. You just go,
yeah. Oh, that's really disappointing. It's like they'd be like getting rid of the M division. It just
at this point, I'd rather they got rid of the M division.
Yes.
Some of the toss that they're going, oh look what we've produced. Yeah. Have you seen it? Because it doesn't look very nice. Whereas an Alpina, you go, ooh, lovely.
Yes. That's don't get that.
No.
There's been some beautiful cars from that mark over the years.
Yeah. It's just because and again, I seem to be stuck for words, and it's one of those things. Yes. Really, I don't. Why?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all. Oh dear.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, just.
Well, maybe enough people aren't buying them. I mean, they were quite pricey, I suppose.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, they're not cheap, but like you likened it to M cars. M cars aren't cheap.
No, they're not. No, that's true. They're not. Mind you, no cars are cheap anymore. I mean, we still think a Golf should be about 15 grand, and it really isn't.
It's definitely a problem. But it's one of those ones that if we had the wherewithal, you and I would probably put in strong consideration to dailying. I don't know, say like a perhaps a B3 or a B5. So basically 3 Series or 5 Series touring, but in Alpina form. You and I'd be all over that.
Yeah, we would. Yeah, we would. Yeah, we'd go and order a couple of those, wouldn't we? Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because there's a class and an elegance to them.
Yes, there is. Understated.
Which
That's the word.
Which is very much lost with the current M range. Understated is not a thing.
That's not. They've given up on that completely. Yes. You should not be able to tell unless you know. And that is not the case anymore. You can tell.
Yeah, very much the same as the RS range from Aldi. That you can just spot them a mile off. You go, oh, it's got adornments. It must be one of those.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I just thought it was worth mentioning because that had passed me by. I mean, I knew that they'd been acquired, but I didn't realise that they were being shut down. That's
acquired to kill.
That's a travesty, that is.
That's a real shame. That's a bit of motoring history going there.
Not happy.
No.
I think, we've had Porsche backpedal on their decision about electric cars. So I think some sort of petition should be put in for BMW to backpedal on this. Alpina needs to exist.
Yeah, it does. That's terrible if they do that. Yes. I think a moment's silence will be called for.
Yeah, that's fair. I tell you what. Before we draw a line under the episode, I tell you what. Next week, should we come prepared not only with the segment where you hit me with your car facts, one of them being erroneous. Can you arrive at the episode with your favourite Alpina, please?
Yeah, I will certainly do my best. Yes,
perfect.
Absolutely.
I will do the same.
Yeah.
And I think if the demise is near, I think we should honour some of their finest work. So yeah, let's pick our favourite.
Let's do that. Let's pick our favourite favourite one of those. Yes, absolutely. I will do that.
Which is good because I'm looking forward to that because that's a bit of research because my Alpine knowledge is okay, but it's not great. So
no, neither's mine. I've got an idea of some of the things they've done, but I would not call it extensive. No.
So what that means is we can delve into it. We can have a right old good time.
We love a good rummage in the facts.
We do. So that'll be good. That'll be a nice little content filler next week. Okay, that's very good. All right, well, we'll wrap it up there. We'll leave Alpina here and then we'll pick it up again next week.
Please don't say content filler.
Well, I think that's probably enough of that for this week. Check us out on all the various social medias and things. Thank you very much for listening.